And welcome to another edition of Currently in Quincy. I'm Joe Catalano. Today we will get an update about Maria Dross Counseling's Compassion in Every Step fundraiser. It's coming up later this month here in Quincy. First, though, we take a look at the weather and the news for you. Currently in Quincy, it's overcast, rather muggy, 62 degrees right now, mostly cloudy today, maybe a peak of some sunshine, and pretty warm and humid with highs in the upper 70s, near 80 in some places this afternoon. For this evening, some patchy fog, still rather sticky with lows in the upper 50s. And the weekend is looking a little better than it was earlier this week, especially tomorrow with a mix of sun and clouds. Pretty warm and still rather humid. Highs tomorrow right around 80 degrees. Looks like some rain moves in for tomorrow evening and continues into Sunday. Sunday is really a gray, rather damp day with clouds off and on showers. Highs Sunday only in the mid-60s. And about the same thing on Monday, even cooler though, with showers. Monday's highs only in the mid-50s. Again, we have clouds and 62 degrees in Quincy right now. Checking out the news for you today, the city of Quincy is going to have to make a $20 million payment in next year's city budget toward the $475 million pension bond that was approved by the City Council back in 2021. Quincy Mayor Thomas Koch says that will be the largest payment for that bond that he says will ultimately save the city at least $130 million in the long run.
So this year we take our medicine for it, and then it flattens out several years going forward. And by the way, it's the law. I know there's people that don't work in the public sector that don't like necessarily some of the benefits the employees get, but it is the law, and I am, under the law, required to fully fund the pension system. So we're in a much better place today. It secures the system going forward. It'll meet the law because now with the market situation, Joe, it goes up and down a little bit. So one year you might be 98% funded. The next year you might be 102% funded, depending on they go to the market going up and down. But that is the big item. That pension obligation bond debt service line is up $20 million. So that is a huge jump in the 1 year. But again, over time, we'll be saving tens of millions of dollars.
Koch says the city locked in an interest rate of 2.6% when it approved that pension bond 4 years ago, and says state law does mandate that the bond be fully funded by the year 2039. The mayor will present his proposed budget for the next fiscal year to the city council on Monday night, and a public budget hearing has been scheduled for May 12th at 6:30 at City Hall. Well, a familiar face and name has entered the race for Quincy School Committee this year. Retired Quincy High School principal and former school committee member Frank Santoro says that he is running for one of the 3 seats that are up for re-election this year. Santoro served on the school committee back in the 1980s, then again after he retired from Quincy High School. He currently serves on the design committee for the new Squantum Elementary School. Now, Santoro cites issues such as the elimination of the MCAS graduation requirement and changes to admissions policies for vocational students as some of the major issues facing the school department. 10-year Quincy citywide PTO member Kate Campbell has also announced that she's running for school committee this year. Committee member Tina Cahill is seeking re-election. Doug Gutrow is not. And Emily Lebo has not yet announced if she'll be running for another 4-year term this year. A promotion ceremony was held recently for the staff of the Norfolk County Correctional Center in Dedham. Sheriff Pat McDermott said the promotions represent a commitment to mentor, challenge, and build the next generation of corrections professionals in Norfolk County.
You all have my trust. Based on my belief in your vast experience and ability to embrace new ideas and to overcome obstacles while working toward our common goal of making re-entry a success for the individuals in our care and custody. Your leadership has never been more needed. The culture we build today and moving forward will define who we are for years to come. You will help lead the progression to our greatness. trusted leaders evolve to meet the ever-changing and dynamic challenges of the mission they are tasked with. We must always remember to act with the best interests of the team in mind, while taking pride in our work as leaders to help others achieve their goals.
5 leaders were promoted, along with 14 new captains, lieutenants, and sergeants. The ceremony also featured a performance of the national anthem and God Bless America by American Idol finalist Ayla Brown from Wrentham. 10 Quincy residents are among 35 Quincy College students recently inducted into the local chapter of Phi Theta Kappa. It's an international academic honor society that focuses on leadership, scholarship, fellowship, and service. During a recent ceremony, the keynote speaker, Quincy College Human Services instructor Dr. Robert Newell, told the new inductees to be proud of their achievements.
I want you to know that this honor reflects your past efforts, yes, but even so, it reflects your potential. You have already overcome challenges that would have stopped many others in their tracks. And you will face more, as we all do. But I hope you'll remember this moment here tonight and know that you are worthy of good things, not because you struggled, but because you have, and you will still rise. There is no shame in needing help. There is no failure in taking a slower path. There is only the deep, unwavering worth that you carry within yourself, no matter what.
Each inductee received a certificate of membership and a traditional white rose. Phi Theta Kappa is made up of more than 4.4 million members in 11 countries. Hundreds of volunteers will fan out across Quincy's parks, playgrounds, beaches, and other public spaces tomorrow for the annual Cleaner, Greener Quincy Spring Cleanup. Quincy Mayor Thomas Koch says that a former mayor started the program 36 years ago, and since then, residents have pitched in to make Quincy a better place to live.
Jim Sheets started it way back when. And I can remember in those days, Joe, that we had one ward a week. Today it's all done in one day, but in those days we were pulling out dumped cars and the washing machines and mattresses and the marshes and parks, and it really was a mess. So today it's so much better. We do a much better job maintaining the city overall, and the people, I think, take greater pride today in the public spaces. So it's more of it's some litter and winter debris, and we're doing mulching, and it's a whole lot better today than it used to be. But nonetheless, it's a great day. Community comes together, takes some pride in our city, and this year being a little extra pride with our Quincy 400 going on.
Volunteers will meet at various locations all around the city from 9 a.m. to noon tomorrow, and then be treated to a cookout at Pageant Field after the cleanup at 12:30. The city will provide some tools, bags, and T-shirts for the volunteers. It will be held rain or shine. It's our check of news for you today. Coming up, Kelly Banks joins us from Maria Dross Counseling Services to talk about their Compassion in Every Step fundraiser. That's next. Welcome back. A couple of hundred people have already signed up to attend the Maria Dross Counseling Services Compassion in Every Step fundraiser. It's coming up May 14th at Granite Links here in Quincy. Kelly Banks is joining us once again to give us a little preview and tell us what will be happening that evening. Great to see you again, Kelly.
Thank you for having me.
Oh,
Glad to be
you're
here.
very welcome. Last time you were here, we had the early bird special for the fundraiser, but that's over.
Yes,
right?
No more early bird ticket prices. Tickets are the normal price of $150 now. So
Okay, and they're still available.
they're still available,
Yep,
yes.
But they're going quick. So
They're going quick.
Get on
We'd
board.
love everybody, if you're interested, to purchase your ticket as soon as possible, just so, obviously it makes us be able to better plan for everybody.
Sure.
But we'd love to have everybody join us.
Yeah, well, it's a full evening. It's dinner, it's music, it's raffles. It's an event.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's definitely an event. It starts at 6 p.m. We know it's school and work night, so we're usually out of there anywhere between 9 and 9:30 if
Okay.
we can stay on time, which
Yep.
is always the challenge. However, we have a full night planned for everybody as far as a program, some guests, and some fun things to see when you're there.
Yeah, it's a Wednesday evening, just if folks are wondering. But before we talk about that, and there's a lot to talk about this year
Yes.
for this year's event, tell us just a very brief overview about Maria Dross Counseling.
Yeah, so Maria Dross Counseling, we've been in Quincy a little over 30 years. We provide a mental health counseling for anybody who needs it. We have a sliding fee scale, so we really can, work with every individual or couple or family that's looking for counseling. We have full-time and part-time staff that are available to support you in whatever you might need.
Yeah, right in Quincy Center, so
Yes.
very accessible via public transportation or even walking, right?
Yeah, walking. The Kilroy Square parking garage is right down the street, which parking is usually $1 an hour
Yep.
unless you're over a certain amount of time, which
Yep.
you most likely won't be.
Right.
So it's pretty easy.
Yeah, and I read a statistic that about 90% of your clients receive some sort of fee reduction
Yeah.
for their service. That's
Yeah,
astounding. Yeah,
it really is. It really is. We have a lot of individuals that their circumstances are very different. It's insurance, deductibles, affordability is really hard at times, and so we really want to make sure that everybody has access in some way or another. Last year we waived over $450,000 in fees for
Really?
individuals, so this fundraiser means a lot for us
Well,
because it helps
this
with
is how
that.
you're able to do it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Exactly.
But our mission is always to make sure that everybody can get the support that they need.
Yeah. Now, has this particular fundraiser been in existence as long as Maria Dross, do you know, Kelly? or-
Not
No.
as long.
Okay.
My understanding it's about 20-ish
so it's got a
years,
good
so
history, though, yeah.
it does, yes.
Sure, okay.
Yeah.
And is it different every year? Is there a different theme every year, or is it always compassion in every step?
So last year we made some changes to the format. It had been pretty consistent before then, so then we kind of wanted to move forward with those changes again this year. So we made a few different tweaks, so it's not the exact same event as last year,
Right.
but we're still moving forward with the compassion in every step.
Okay. But the statement really explains what Maria Dross' mission is, right? Compassion.
does.
It's a holistic approach to mental health counseling, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. It very much is, the what we embody, all of our therapists and our offices, and really focusing on that compassion piece, because mental health is difficult and, it's hard to, make those steps to get yourself the support that you need.
Yes, yeah. So every step. So what are the steps?
Yes.
Yeah.
Step one is just calling to see, what our availability is,
Yeah.
if we're able to, work with you. And there are some cases that we can't support in one way or another, whether it's schedule or just availability for the therapist that we think would be the best fit. But I think what we do is a really nice job of making sure that if an individual isn't able to be seen with us, to really help them find someone who is the right, or to give them some resources.
Not
'Cause
just say
that's-
no and hang up the phone, right?
Yeah, that's a
yeah.
difficult piece too. I hear a lot of different places when I have conversations around mental health. A lot of people just don't know where to start.
Yes.
So-
yeah. Well, probably sometimes the best thing you can do for someone if you can't help them is to tell them that.
Exactly.
Not to try it, knowing that you're not going to succeed, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And set them on the path to success.
Yes, we hope so.
Yeah. And you do still offer like telephone, virtual counseling as well as in person? You
Yeah,
do?
so we
Okay.
have in person, we have teletherapy. So we'll work with any individual. Sometimes the schedules align best with teletherapy. Some individuals really love the in-person. So sometimes in-person is a little bit of a longer wait, but we make sure that we can, easily communicate that with each individual, so
Sure.
they understand that.
Yeah, yeah. And talk about counselors a little bit if you can. How many of them are there? Their backgrounds, things like that?
Yeah, so we have about four or five full-time individuals. The rest are, fee-for-service, a part-time therapist.
Yep.
They all have, all the education and the great work that
Credentials,
they
yeah.
need for the work that they're doing. We also have a really strong internship program. So a lot of our therapists, whether they're full-time or part-time, were interns with Maria Drost at one point. So we provide that supervision that they need as an intern, and in turn, a lot of them want to stay on. So we're able to kind of work with them to make a schedule that is, works for both of us
Sure.
on both sides. So.
Yeah, where do the interns come from, Kelly? How is that program organized?
Yeah. So it's a very popular program. We get a lot of applications every year. We've had interns that come from Bridgewater State, Boston College, and Suffolk. A lot of different universities and
Okay.
colleges. It varies each year,
Yeah.
so we kind of look at just the applications and the candidates and kind of what they're looking to do, and if we think that they are also a good fit for our organization.
Right. So students in psychology programs at surrounding universities and
Yes.
schools. I see.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So really, you're not only you're helping your clients, but you're helping the next generation of counselors.
We
too.
hope so.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yes.
Okay, so Compassion in Every Step.
Yes.
It is May 14th, 6 p.m. at Granite Links here in Quincy. And what's it all about this year, Kelly?
So this year we have made a few changes.
Okay.
So what individuals can expect if they have purchased a ticket and want to attend is a few guest speakers, one of them being a former Quincy High School student. Her name is Grace, and she's going to be talking a little bit about her experience with mental health. She participated in the fashion technology program through Quincy High School, and her collection that she designed and created was around the 5 stages of grief. So I think it'll be a really powerful statement and message that she's going to send at the event. And then we also kind of pulling in that Quincy High School connection.
Yeah.
We've been working with Robin Kaplan at Quincy High School, who leads the fashion technology program, and their Fashion 2 students, which are primarily sophomores and juniors, have created a piece that they're going to present, either wear it or have it on display at the event. And the kind of process to that was a little unique. We went to the Garment District in Cambridge, and they selected either one or a few garments that they were going to work on transforming. So really connecting the transformation that you can have in your mental health through a piece of clothing as well. So I think it'll be really interesting for everybody to kind of see what it was to begin with and what it looks like now.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
All
So and then we have a lot of great students in that program that have talked a little bit about what mental health means to them, what it looks like for them, and just kind of that whole thought process for their age is, mental health is a big conversation in their world. So we're excited for that.
So there'll be a video of them?
Yes,
Yeah.
so a few of them, we actually worked with the wonderful people at QATV to put together a video. A few of them have talked about mental health and their projects, that sort of thing, and then you'll be able to talk with them at the event in person to kind of get their thoughts around their project, what it means to them, and that sort of thing. So it'll be really exciting to see. And then the other thing that we will be able to showcase that night is we do have an amazing client speaker who is going to be sharing her story. Hers is a little bit different. It's more related to her postpartum journey as a new mom, and kind of navigating that world.
Oh, interesting.
And so it'll be really interesting to kind of hear from her. And then she's also creating a documentary that she's going to display or present in the summer, and the proceeds from that will be coming to Maria Drost Counseling
very
Services.
good. Will that be happening in Quincy as well? Do you know?
I believe it will be somewhere in Cape.
Okay.
So I think that she's kind of nailing down the venue. So as soon as we know,
Okay.
we'll be able
Can
to
you
share.
tell us who that is, or is that not public right now?
I think she's going to release the trailer on Mother's Day.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yes.
Okay. So stay tuned for that.
Stay tuned.
Okay. So can you talk a little bit about the thought process behind fashion, and mental health, and especially when it comes to young people?
Yeah.
Where did this whole idea generate?
It's interesting because a lot of times you think about fashion, you're not really relating that to mental health.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So, you know, our conversation last year and this year in transforming pieces was
Yeah.
really around how important it can be to kind of transform your mental health if you're in a space where you're not, you know, you're happy or you're anxious or depressed, just to kind of things that you can do to improve your mental health and transform your life in certain ways. And what's been really interesting is the last few years, we've really seen younger generations embrace their mental health more
Yeah.
and be very open to talking about it and having conversations. So
Yeah.
we're really trying to work with them to, you know, understand more, provide the assistance and the support that they need, but also to help remove that stigma
I
that
see.
is around mental health.
You know, we've seen some professional athletes become, you know, kind of spokespersons
Yeah.
for the mental health community, right? Simone Biles comes to mind.
Mm-hmm.
Just recently, a Red Sox player
Yeah.
shared his journey as well. So kind of removing that stigma, right? A little
Yeah,
bit.
it's important, and you know, one thing that we see, and especially with this project with them, is that they are very open with talking about their mental health, and I think that is something that we need to make people more comfortable being able to feel that they can share.
Young people especially.
Yeah,
right?
especially one thing that we're excited about too is Liam Martin is going to be our MC.
Oh, yeah.
And similarly, he is someone who stepped away from his job in the media because of his mental health.
And was public about it.
And he was very public about it. Yes, yeah.
Well, it was
So
impacting him as a father, right? As a husband,
Yeah.
in his personal life. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So we're really excited to kind of bring all this together and help to continue move that conversation. I know I spoke with an individual after our event last year who she just attended and felt as though after hearing people talk, she then could, you know, take that next step to get the support that she needed.
That's a win.
That's a win.
Right there.
I take that as a win.
That's a
yes.
win, yeah. I just want to read a brief statement from your executive director, Mike Shanahan. Proud to partner with Quincy High School's Fashion Technology program, where talented students will showcase their creativity through transformative fashion designs. Their participation highlights the connection between self-expression, creativity, and mental well-being, an inspiring addition to this vital cause.
Yes.
So
Yes.
there you have it.
Absolutely.
But there's going to be some fun too that night, right?
There's going to be lots of fun.
Yeah.
So we have some live music.
Yes.
We have raffles. Right now we're close to 60 raffles. We have silent auction packages that you can expect. Some golf packages. Some different, you know, overnight stays that we're trying to, you know, put together and have a great package for someone to be able to bid on.
Yeah.
Some of our raffles, we've had a lot of things that have been donated by amazing businesses in Quincy.
Do tell.
Yeah, so a lot of the restaurants, you know, the
Oh.
Fuji Group has been a great supporter.
Oh, very nice.
We have some restaurants from the Fowler House, from Novara, you know, so
Oh, local
all around.
businesses.
Yeah, a lot of
Okay.
local businesses have graciously supported. So you can look for a lot of different raffle items. We're going to have some mystery bags that, you know, you can pay $25 for, and
You
who
don't know
knows
what
you
you're
get.
getting, but it'll be something
You
good.
might get a $250 gift
Yeah,
card. You might
okay.
get an overnight stay on the Cape,
All right.
or you could just get a $50 restaurant gift card. So
Either way.
lots of things to be excited for.
Sure.
Yeah.
Do you have a goal for the fundraiser, Kelly? An overall goal in mind?
Yeah, so we would love to raise anywhere from $175,000 to $200,000
Yep.
because you know, the work that we're doing is so important.
Yeah. So is this your main event for the year, would you say?
Yeah, this is our
it.
main fundraiser that we do every year. So we're excited to have everybody kind of come out and support.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, there is still tickets available, right?
Yes, yes.
Right up till
We'd love to have you.
to near the
Nearly
date.
the date,
Yeah.
nearly the date.
But don't wait.
Give us a little time to plan. So if you can, do it sooner than later.
Absolutely. Now the fashions that have been created, I understand there's about 8 of them. Is that right? So are they all dresses, or is
Mm-hmm. So-
there a variety of?
Yeah, so
items?
there's a variety. So
Oh.
a few are dresses, a few are, you know, repurposed and redesigned jeans
Mm-hmm.
and tops, skirts. So a variety of different
Okay.
things that you'll be able to see.
And what happens to them after the show?
So they are the students. The
Yes.
students are able to keep them.
Okay.
So I'm sure they'd be willing to have a conversation with you if there's something that really drives you. So
Okay, might be their Who knows? Their first.
It might be their
sale
first, exactly.
as a fashion designer. Is it boys and girls? Is there a combination, or is it?
So the program, the class that we're working with is, I believe, all girls.
All girls? Okay. All right,
Yeah.
very good. Maybe it'll inspire some boys to get involved. Who
Yeah.
knows? Yeah.
It's a great program.
Social media, of course.
Yeah, so you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. You can learn more about what we're doing and the spring fundraiser and just in general.
Okay. On the website, tickets right through the website, right?
Tickets are available on the website. You can also, if you don't want to pay online, there's a pay by check option. You can mail in a check to our offices.
Oh, very good. Okay.
Or you can give us a call if you need some other accommodation, and we can talk about it.
Sure. Sounds like it's going to be a great evening.
I think so. I
Yeah.
think it's going to be great.
I wish you great success.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for stopping by, Kelly.
Thanks for having me.
Just enough time to take a look at the forecast for you for the rest of the day today. It's kind of what you see is what you get. A lot of clouds, maybe a peak of sun. It's going to be warm and humid, summer-like, with highs up in the upper 70s this afternoon and upper 50s this evening. Tomorrow's okay. We squeaked out a good Saturday. Sun and clouds, warm and humid, high around 80. Rain does move in tomorrow night and lasts through the day on Sunday, off and on. Won't be a complete washout, but cooler and damper, and even cooler on Monday with some showers around as well. Thanks again to Kelly Banks for joining us from Maria Dross Counseling.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you to our crew. Thank you for watching. This coming Monday, we'll learn about a special fundraiser that's coming up in Milton for firefighters across Massachusetts. Meantime, please visit our website. It's qatv.org. You'll find all of our latest programs there, along with news and information, video on demand, live streaming, and much more. For all of us here at QATV, I'm Joe Catalano. Have a great weekend.